Hello again, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Focus Vandalia. My name is Rich Hopkins. I'm the communications manager for the city. And on today's program, we'll check in with our assistant city manager, Greg Shackelford. He's got some exciting news about a new business looking to locate in Vandalia. We'll also give you some sign-up dates and registration dates you'll need to know about with our Vandalia Recreation Center and programs that are upcoming. But I think I'd be remiss if we didn't start this program talking about the EF1 tornado that touched down on October the 31st late in the evening. Now, if you've seen the news video of the tornado touching down or the aftermath, you know that if you're keeping score, that tornado won the first point. But the aftermath of that tornado has been residents and city crews coming together to bring that city back to life. And today, I can tell you that in the end result, the tornado didn't win, it was the people of Vandalia. The picture shows the destruction that an EF1 tornado is capable of creating. One building completely destroyed, others badly damaged, still others with significant structural issues. The storm hit right around 11:30 on Halloween night, a nasty trick by Mother Nature. But within minutes, city crews were on the scene working to clean up the mess. Residents in the days following the storm reached out to help one another and push, pull, and drag storm debris to the curb so it could be picked up by public works crews. In the end, the resiliency of the city was stronger than a simple storm, and as we move towards the holidays, Vandalia residents are just thankful that things are slowly getting back to normal. And from an emergency situation to one created for training purposes. The city of Vandalia acquired this old farmhouse many years ago and had run out of reasons to keep it around. So with the decision to demolish it came an opportunity to put it to good use one last time, giving decision makers within the city an opportunity to see a fire up close and personal.
We try to do these when we get acquired structures and we have some time built into our training to do these with city council or people in the city manager's office or people in the city in general. We like to have the finance people and people that make decisions on some of our purchasing, especially when we're coming to them at budget time, so that they get a kind of a frontline look at what's going on in the fire department.
Fire Chief Chad Follick offered key staff in the city, along with council member Candace Farst and Vandalia drummer editor Daryl Wacker, an opportunity to suit up and go beyond the yellow tape to walk a mile in the shoes of a firefighter.
It's easy to see the things we do in the community. You know, you can go out and see a passport to safety program, or you can see fire prevention doing inspections. And it's even easier to see guys when they're working on a medical call or an auto accident. You see the guys, they're actually out working. You can see the equipment kind of in use, but this situation was it's a lot easier for us to give you kind of the down and dirty view of what the job really is about.
Follick says the event gives decision makers an opportunity to truly understand how the equipment his firefighters use on a daily basis helps to save lives.
Things like thermal imaging cameras. We did one evolution there where we did nothing but smoke the building up. We have our rescue dummy inside, and we took them inside so they can see what it would be like for a first due engine or a truck company that comes in the door and searching for someone that's trapped within that building in zero visibility. And they can see that with their own eyes, how hard it is to see in that environment. But more importantly, they can also see it with the thermal imaging camera and how much easier it makes those guys' jobs and takes them really right to the target specific, and really can see what the benefit that life-saving technology is.
This exercise also demonstrates the usefulness of the protective clothing that makes entering a house fire possible.
The protective clothing on the front end is a very large expenditure. You know, you're looking at $2,000 for probably to set a firefighter up from head to toe. You know, and when you talk about, 6 guys a day times that, times 60 people in the fire department, it gets to be a large number. But you can see the importance of they would not be able to do their job without that equipment.
Trained firefighters were on hand throughout this drill to make sure everyone got in and out safely. Some crew members even wore video cameras on their helmets to give folks watching this show today a chance to appreciate the power of a roaring fire.
We do that drill specifically, and we do that drill with our probationary guys when we hire them on. It's called campfire drill. And the very first thing we would show them is how quickly fire builds. if you look at that and time it out, within 5, 6, 7 seconds, the fire's up the wall. And we do have some straw and some skids, and what you have to realize is it takes longer for the skid to catch and go. The straw is what creates that larger fire, and that mimics most modern products in your house today. So if you're looking at a fire in a chair, for example, the stuffing, the fabric, that material is not fire resistant. So it's gonna burn a lot quicker than that skid did. So within about 5 to 6 seconds, the fire is up the wall, across the ceiling. Within the first minute, fire is rolling across the ceiling. You can see the smoke and the thermal barrier setting up in the room. That room, if it had furniture in it, when that thermal barrier sets up, would instantly ignite. So we were trying to show them some of the importance of quick notification, of why we put such weight in our response times, because we try to get there within 5 minutes of any emergency, and the importance of that 5-minute response time is to get there if people are trapped, to get them out of that environment. The other things we try to show them is, the protective clothing we were mentioning earlier, what it protects us against. You're looking at 6, 8, 7, 800 degree temperatures at the ceiling. If you look as the fire rolls across the ceiling, you can actually see the paint on the ceiling bubbling and starting to turn. So, we were trying to get the idea of where the temperature's at. And the most important thing was that, we teach everybody to crawl low and smoke. As you see the thing setting up, you can see that the good air is still down below and the bad air is above, and the fire is consuming all the oxygen in the room. So we're trying to, prove the point that we always crawl in low.
From bringing down a house to taking down potentially hazardous trees. Our next stop today is a conversation with Vandalia's chief building official, Ted Baker. He's trying to spread the word about a potential hazard that might be on your property right now. Trees that have been damaged or weakened and may be ready to come crashing down.
With the ash borer, it's created even more dead or dying trees that are on either in the right-of-way or on property owners' property that could create a hazard. The ordinances in the city of Vandalia require that if you have a dead or dying tree that's likely to drop large limbs or fall, and if it's in the area that could fall on the sidewalk or the street, it could create a hazard, and you are required to remove that tree or to trim it back to where it is safe.
Baker said some of these trees have limbs that can weigh hundreds of pounds, and as they die, become more and more likely to fall, increasing the potential for serious property damage, injury, or worse.
It's not unheard of for fatalities from that also. And the owners of property need to be aware that they have a liability there if they have trees that are in that weakened condition. Let alone it's the right thing to do as a property owner.
Now is a pretty good time to give your trees the once-over. Look for branches with no leaves or telltale signs of ash borer infestation, like these tiny D-shaped holes in the trunk or limbs.
A lot of times with trees that are stressed, you'll start to see areas in the canopy of it that are dying out a little bit. And we're starting to see a lot of those with the ash trees. But there's also a lot of the others that a lot of times people don't look at or really recognize, even on their own property, that it's in a condition that is weakened and could create a hazard.
What should you do if you have one of these trees on your property? You'll want to get an expert opinion before taking action.
They need to get a hold of a tree company that does the trimming. A lot of times an arborist is a good source if there's a tree that's in a weakened condition, not if it's completely dead. We all know those need to come down. But if it's in a weakened condition, sometimes an arborist can help them with what areas of it need to be trimmed up and whether it's going to be able to be saved or not, or if you're wasting your money having it trimmed when you need just have it removed.
And while we're talking about things coming down, let's take a moment to talk about buildings going up. This is the scene at Stone Quarry Crossings on Vandalia's West End, where Baltimore-based Independent Can is constructing a warehouse.
The overall structure for that now is just about up. They're doing a lot of exterior work now. The last time I was out last week, everything was there just about except for some exterior walls. They're targeting January to be under roof.
Assistant City Manager Greg Shackelford says the plans might be changing even before the building is complete, as company officials are looking to add a production element to the project.
They're converting the building from a warehouse facility to a manufacturing facility. So that's really exciting for us, because what that'll mean is that'll mean more revenue opportunity for them, and down the road it'll be more employees. So we're really hoping that we're probably between maybe 30 to 50 employees at some point down the road, maybe 5 to 10 years down the road. So very exciting news.
Right next door is the future home of a White Castle food processing plant, which is inching ever closer to completion.
Yeah, they've actually got some exterior paint on there now, and if you've been by that facility, the one way you can tell is that they've got one of the office facilities has a crown on the top of it on the outside, which is similar to what you see when you go to some of the restaurants. But that project has been, it kind of got delayed early on when there was some documentation things that they made some changes on. That was last year, and now here we are, we're looking at hopefully the occupancy cert will be done in December if all goes well, maybe even late November, and then they can be under operations in the first quarter of 2014. Excellent. Hopefully first year 60 employees, and then maybe up to 100 in the next 3 years.
Another new company setting up shop in Vandalia is Go-To Technologies, which just this past month moved their operation to Vandalia.
They're probably 20 employees in the next maybe 3 to 5 years. Out of the gate, though, they're starting with 12, which it's a nice start for us in Vandalia.
And while we're talking about new business, 2 more bits of good news as economic development in town continues to build momentum.
A couple other new ones that I'm looking at right now on Poe Avenue, the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, they should be opening their doors anytime, maybe as early as November. And then there's an information technology company that I'm still going to hold the name on that one. That'll be Park Center Drive. That'll be another 40 to 60 employees. Ohio Job and Family Services, that could be upwards of 100. So very exciting.
Lots of folks are also excited about some new recreation opportunities available at the Vandalia Recreation Center. Recreation Supervisor Alicia McCracken.
We've got quite a few adult leagues coming up here for the winter. We offer a 35 and up basketball league on Tuesday evenings, a men's open basketball leagues on Sunday mornings this year, and then we have co-ed volleyball, upper and lower divisions that play on Thursday and Friday evenings. And registration is going on now through December 6th.
McCracken says now is the time to get your team together and sign up.
You may register online, which is new this year, or come up to the front desk of the rec center, fill out a small registration form, and sign up your team.
Now is the time to also start thinking about the holidays and potential gifts for that hard-to-buy-for person on your list. Recreation Center Facilities Superintendent Elaine Kaler says you should think about giving the gift of fitness.
We are offering a special deal. For every $25 in gift certificates that you buy, you get $5 for free. And for every $100 gift certificate you buy, you get $20 for free. So that really extends people's ability to give the gift of fitness and recreation for the holidays.
The certificates are good for any program at the rec center or for any team leagues. They're ideal for grandparents who want to give their grandkids a special holiday gift.
So we do have actually a lot of out-of-town grandparents or uncles and aunts calling in trying to get gift certificates for their family members here in town, because they know how much they utilize either for the sports programs, for swim lessons, or just to keep the family healthy throughout the year.
The gift certificate special is only available for a limited time, so if you think it's for you, you'll want to act fast.
The gift certificate special goes on sale starting December 1st, and it runs until the end of January, January 31st.
Finally today, a true sign that the holiday season is very nearly upon us. Just this past month, the city has cut down the tree that will serve as Vandalia's official 2013 Christmas tree.
This year it came from 502 Helke, the Sullivan residence, and we're very fortunate that it's one of the nicer trees that we've received, and we're really excited about that. And I believe the Sullivan family is very excited to be the donor, so it should be a fun evening for them to be part of it.
Parks and Recreation Director Steve Clark says the tree will be dolled up and ready for display on December the 1st. That's when Vandalia's official tree lighting ceremony takes place on the grounds just outside the Recreation Center.
The event this year will be held on Sunday, December 1st at 6 p.m., which this is new. We've had it on weeknights in the past, and we've decided to move to a Sunday because of just conflicts with school activities and community activities on weeknights. So as well as the rec center, we're still open for business on weeknights, and trying to get people in and out while we're having a tree lighting was a little bit cumbersome. So we're going to go with the Sunday evening at 6 o'clock, and it should be a lot of fun. It's the same type of event that we've had in the past, where we're going to have some entertainment. Our winners of our Vandalia's Got Talent contest from back at our Star Spangled Celebration will perform. We'll have our coloring contest winners announced. Mayor Setzer will will light the tree, official lighting of the tree, and then we'll have hot chocolate and cookies and things like that for the guests. And of course, the main thing, Santa Claus will be arriving.
This is the 6th year that Vandalia has held a tree lighting ceremony, and Clark says the community has adopted the event as a holiday tradition.
It's well attended. I mean, last year, for example, we estimated we had close to 500 people out at the rec center for the event. So, and that just continues to grow. So yeah, it is a neat community event. It ties in, December 1st ties into the end of the Thanksgiving weekend. So we think it's a great way to top off the start of the holiday season.
Now, it doesn't look like much now, but rest assured, by December the 1st, this tree behind me is going to be dressed up in full-on Christmas attire, and this area around me will be filled with Vandalians ready to ring in the holiday season. Hopefully we'll see you out there. That's going to do it for this edition of Focus Vandalia. I'm Rich Hopkins. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.